Welcome to the show, Grady. How you doing, man?
I'm doing good. It's been well. How are you, Coach Prophet?
I'm doing good, man. I'm doing good. Well, we got a lot to cover today. Well, not a lot, but we got like five things that we want to touch on. And we're just gonna have quality conversations with, you're a quality person. I've established that over since what we met last fall. Is that correct? Was it like
Yeah,
last fall
about
or
like
last
a year
summer?
ago.
Yeah. So, yeah.
Yeah, last summer.
Right, right. We also got our tea with us. So, real quick, before we
Yes,
hop into our
sir.
first topic, what tea are you drinking?
I'm drinking a lemon
Mm-hmm.
peppermint ginger tea.
Ooh, okay. That sounds really good. That's like a good
It
combination
is.
that I wouldn't think, those three things would go together. I actually got a lemon tea as well. I forgot. I think it's lemon and I forget what else is in it, but this one's one of my go-to ones that I really like. So yeah. So hey, let's hop into the first thing, which is who is Grady Perkins? Who is Grady Perkins?
Grady Perkins is a small town kid from Valdosta that likes to play baseball
Mm-hmm.
and likes to swim. And he's 15 and going into the 10th grade. And he's really interested in sports, the outdoors, swimming, fishing. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Who Grady
That's pretty
Perkins
much
is.
it. Okay, okay. And like what do you like you say you mentioned like outdoors, like fishing. So obviously they kind of got a hint that you're probably a baseball player because I said you were one of my players. So yeah, elaborate on some of those other things
Sure.
that you do outside of, the sport of baseball.
Uh, I play another sport. Well, some people think it's not a sport, but I do because it's really hard. It's
Yeah.
swimming. I
Oh,
just
no,
really
that's
like
a
to be
sport,
around the
man.
water,
Hmm.
and I like fishing a lot because I just like it's just peaceful, just sitting out
Right.
there waiting and then catch one. It's really exhilarating. And I
No,
really
I
love
got you.
skateboarding.
Oh, really?
Love
How long
skate.
how long have you
Yes,
been how long have you been skateboarding?
since I was a wee little lad, since
Oh,
I
wee
think
little lad.
7. I was like 7.
Right.
Yeah, and I've been trying to learn this new trick,
Hmm.
but yeah,
I got you, man. I got you. Well, let's dive into a couple other topics because not only are you a baseball player, not only are you a good swimmer and a fisher, but you also have a YouTube page. Is that right?
is baby gravy.
Baby Gravy.
It
That's the
used
name of your YouTube channel.
Yeah, well, it's a long story of where I got the name. So
Mm-hmm.
basically, me and my friends we used to go to the YMCA a lot, over
Right.
the summer, and I got since my name was Grady,
Mm-hmm.
I got the nickname Gravy. That sounded like Grady, and
That's
it kind of
funny.
just stuck. So
Hmm.
I just kept it.
There you go.
And it used to be Hitman Gaming, where me and my brother used to run it and
Mm-hmm.
just do Fortnite and stuff. But we shied away from Fortnite.
Oh, so why did you decide to shy away from Fortnite? Because
Uh,
that's like
it
the
it
biggest game in the world.
it, it all started when our PS4 broke, unfortunately, and
Mm-hmm.
to fix it, it would literally cost more to fix it than to just get a used new one.
Mm-hmm.
So I just sold it and really haven't been playing video games since then.
Right, right. Okay, nice, nice. So a lot of people probably don't know this if they don't know you, but you also have a twin brother. So,
An identical twin brother.
and I did like they look just alike. I literally still can't tell them apart. They just explained to me how to tell the difference between them like last weekend, where they were like one has a narrow Grant has a narrower face. Is that right, or is it you?
I have an arrow face.
See, I can't even get it right. I can never get it right. But they look like literally identical, like the same person. So just describe briefly
Yeah,
how it's been having a twin, kind of the perks, and then maybe a thing or two that you don't really like about it.
best part, honestly, and to practice with. And you have a brother you can do things with, but the cons is just getting called Grant all the time or just Perkins. And besides that, there's really not that bad.
Yeah, I got you. That's cool. That's cool. Okay, we're
I
back.
might have to I might have to move setups. The Someone's gardener's here.
Oh no, no way. All right, it's okay. So we'll power through it. So
Okay.
you're explaining about the pros and cons. So did you say you had a con?
Yeah. There's
Oh, it's
really
just like
not that many cons.
right,
It's just being called the same person. But besides that, it's really just all pros because I literally have another person to help me out with whatever I'm doing.
right. Yeah, that's true. That's true. Have you ever like played tricks on people, like your parents or
I
anything?
uh yeah, we have when we were
Mm-hmm.
little. Um, it was the fourth grade.
Mm-hmm.
Me and him switched classes for the day, and
Oh no way. Did anybody notice?
yes, it was really. We were going to a new school,
Yeah.
and I was so surprised. They didn't notice until like the end of the day,
That's
and
hilarious.
they were baffled that they didn't notice what that the difference between me and him switching classes for the whole entire day.
That's hilarious. That's great, man.
Yeah.
That's great. All right, man. So we're gonna get into our third topic, man. And it's basically what have you learned from baseball? So I play baseball since I was 4. It's a humbling game for sure. So just get on the list of a couple things that you've learned since you've played and what you're looking to accomplish.
Uh, the most important thing that I've learned from baseball is character. It's a really good character building sport. It really teaches you how to work with others really good and how
Mhm.
you can't just be like, oh, it's just me. I'm just gonna help myself and no one else. You gotta
Right.
help what's better for the team and not just yourself. And it also teaches you very good mental strength to just wipe off what happened last play if you make a mistake and to just start it fresh and just keep on playing the game.
Yeah, that's for sure. That's for sure. I like it. I like it. So what's kind of like your goals for playing baseball? Like is baseball like your favorite sport or you said you
Yeah, it's by
swim?
far my favorite sport.
By far your favorite sport. Okay.
By far.
I got you. So yeah,
Uh,
what are you looking to accomplish in baseball?
I really want to play in college for
Mhm.
baseball, preferably Vanderbilt or Navy.
Mhm. Oh,
But
Navy.
if
Okay.
my my biggest dream to do it is would be to go to the MLB. That's just been my dream since I was a little kid. But it's hard.
I don't know. Yeah, baseball, like you said, it's a character builder. I always say it's the game of failure, right? And it teaches you, you know, not on well, you can learn how to fail. Like that's what it will teach you. And if you
Yes.
take that from the game of baseball, it translates very well from like your life moving on when you're no longer playing sports because in life there's a lot of things that just aren't going to go your way. We all have a plan in our head, but very rarely do things just all the stars align for everything that we have in our head. And so you got to learn how to adapt and overcome challenges and obstacles that are presented to you. And I think baseball is the perfect game of doing that because you just have to deal with failing in such a drastic way. It's like I always equate it to um, grades, right? So we all know like
Oh
a
yeah.
pretty good batting average is a 300, right? Which would equate to a
Yeah.
30 on a test. So imagine bringing home a 30 to your parents, like what they would say. Like, but in baseball, that's perfectly acceptable. Like that's like top tier, especially in
Yeah,
the
that's
major
like really
leagues.
good.
You're hitting 300, you're doing something. And so it's very interesting. A lot of people, stop playing baseball just because they can't handle the fact that they fail so much. And so if you made it this far and you've learned how to deal with the failure and that's the top thing. That's not to mention like the pressure of whatever situation you may be in
Oh yeah.
or just all the other things that the game may present at you. That's just like the top one is just having to deal with failure. So man, that's good. That's good. So, how about YouTube? So, you just started Baby Gravy, right? You have one video,
Yeah,
and it was kind. We were just talking about this. It was kind of crushing it, right? Um,
yeah. Uh, it wasn't crushing it like the first 3 nights, and then on the 4th day after it's been uploaded, I looked back and I looked at the analytics, and
mhm.
it said that I had around 3,700 plays on it,
Wow.
views, and I
Yeah.
was just so surprised.
There you go, man. That's how and
I know.
describe what it was because this wasn't like a tailor-made video. It wasn't like fancy. Like it was. Describe to the people
It was
exactly what it was.
it was a base hit at leg point. It was a decent hit, basically, just out to left field, right field, I mean, right field in the gap, and that's basically it.
Yeah, that was it. It was
I,
super simple.
I it was just simple.
Yeah,
I
but
was
I
so
mean,
surprised.
but baseball lovers like they see a good hit, they'll stick around and watch it. May click a double tap. Hey, that was a good little hit there. So yeah, that was good. So just moving on here. Um, I got a couple more things for you. So I coach you in travel ball, summer ball, essentially. You also play for your school, correct?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So explain to the people the differences between school ball and travel ball. Like, what's the differences?
Oh,
Which one do you
oh,
like more? You know,
there's a big difference for school ball. It's really more of a practice and just repetition, repetition on all of it, and you get to like know the people you're playing with for a long time because you'll be playing with them for the next 4 years,
right.
and you'll play the same teams for the next 4 years. But besides that, there's really like nothing really to it. Me personally, I like travel ball better because I like traveling because I'm just an explorer type of person,
Hmm.
and I really like playing other different teams and besides just like the same team, like Valdosta versus Lounge, like every year.
Right.
But you get to face a lot more people and a lot of better people, in my opinion, in travel ball than you would in school.
Yeah, because I mean, like you said, you're traveling, and the competition that the tournaments that we enter, the competitions like the top tier in the
Oh,
country. Like people will
yeah,
come from California. Do we have a lot of teams from up north that come down just so they could play? Down here where a lot of scouts will flock. A lot of SEC schools will come to Lake Point just because it's such a nice facility. Plus, you got perfect game in Atlanta as well, so a lot of coaches are just floating down here. So we and we're kind of
yeah.
blessed too because we don't really have to travel too far. Like imagine us being in, I mean, even North Carolina, that's like, a considerable drive.
That's
But then we got teams coming from
yeah,
like Ohio all the time. Like, yeah, it's but yeah, it is fun to see like how different people, the styles of play, how they differ from like how the northern teams play, how the southern teams play, how the west teams play, and just the different talent all over the country. So I would definitely agree with you there.
yeah. Coastal's program with baseball tournaments we play in are top tier because the I played with many different travel teams. None of them are like how Coastal does it. Coastal is doing it way better than most, I would say, and getting you seen and getting college coaches to look at you. It, Me personally, that's what I think.
I love it, man. I love it. So, have you had like a favorite Coastal Stars moment since you've joined the program?
Yes, I have. I have. It was it was with Coach Randy's team back last year when it was there were 2 outs and we were losing. No, yeah, we were losing, and I hit a ball oppo, and I almost got a double. I didn't get the double, but I almost did.
So did you get thrown out?
Oh no, 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 no! I went back. I
Oh,
went back
okay.
to
So
there.
I was like, I was like, I almost got a double. Did you did you get hosed a second?
Well, you know me. I'm not the fastest on the
Right,
team.
right, right.
And that was just my favorite moment because I was just so hyped. And that was my first year swinging a wood bat, and it
Oh,
was
wow.
just
Okay.
hype. That was my first hit. Was just a good, nice line drive out
Right,
in
right.
the gap, and
Nice.
I just loved it.
Always remember your first hit, man. Always remember your first hit. All right. Well, we're gonna dive into our last topic. So, Mr. Grady, do you have any questions? So I'm gonna basically be like your big brother, like your coach. So we're gonna flip the interview on its head, and I'm gonna have you ask me questions. So, do you have any questions for me, sir?
I do. What's it
Okay.
like playing baseball in college than it is from high school?
So,
Like,
like the
what's the difference
differences?
between it?
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So, college is a different beast. So, even if you're like the most mature person, there's going to be a super big adjustment period. And that's just because you're just going to be on your own. So, like when you're at home, like you have mom or dad, somebody's probably cooking you dinner or giving you money just to go out. But you have that support system at home. So if you ever need something, say, hey, mom, dad, brother, siblings, like all your friends that you've grown up with, they're all right there. Like you always have somebody that you can rely on. Now in college, you do. Um, that will develop. But when you first get there, you're basically on your own. You gotta learn how to do the laundry on your own if you haven't learned already. You gotta learn how to make sure you're getting proper rest because at home sometimes you'll just stay up all night, but then your mom or dad will come in and be like,
Yeah.
"Hey, go to bed, stop, get off the video games." So you have to manage yourself, and so it really makes you grow up, and that's just college. Now, when you add in athletics, then it's like, all right, now I have to worry about school and I have to worry about taking care of myself. Plus, I have like this full time job, which a lot of people think, oh, y'all are just playing sports. But no, it's like it really
Oh,
translates into a full time job because um, not only you don't like in high school, you may have like weight training with your team for one period. A lot of schools are doing that now. And then you may have practice after school, but in college, it's like you may have weight training, you may have, uh, study hall, you may have practice. You may have a all these different things, and then maybe something for the school just because you're part of athletics. Athletics at most school are really involved in community service or different things like that. And so a lot of times you'll have to go to different events just to be there, or maybe you'll have to go support like the basketball game um, that are going on just because you're part of athletics. And so there's just a lot of things that you have to manage once you get to college, and so that's the biggest thing is the people that I've seen that don't really make it through college are the people that, you know, weren't mature enough to handle it, or they didn't have, the guts to stick around when it got hard. They were just like, "Nah, I'll just go back home, or I'll just drop baseball because this job is too hard." Because you're gonna have rough days. You have rough days, but you just gotta power through it. Like one of my coaches said, you gotta enjoy the grind, basically. That really sums up the difference between high school and college, right? So high school, it's like, yeah, you're grinding, but like, I mean, you're kind of with your hometown buddies. You're having more fun, right? Now, when you get to college, you're going to have a lot of fun. Don't get me wrong, but it's a grind. You're playing double and in some cases triple the amount of games. And then you're
whoa.
having to do weight training on a schedule. You got to make sure you're eating right. And then, I mean, and just the pressure of playing, like you get a scholarship, right? You don't want that scholarship to get cut, or you don't want to get cut from the team, right? So you got to make sure that you're performing in your sport. And you also got to make sure you're performing in the classroom, right? Which is another element. Classes are generally harder than high school for the most part, depending on what school you get to. But you got to make sure that you're performing in class so that you can play on the field and so that you're good to play. So yeah, that's probably
For
this.
when you said, oh, my bad.
No, go ahead, go ahead. I was done.
For when you said it's like like a job,
Right,
is it like you don't have time to do the things that you would do like in high school, like hang out with friends as much as you would, or like how when people go to college,
right.
some people just go to college, they really don't do the studies, they just like are there just to party.
Mm.
As an athlete, you do not have time to do any of that, but
So
you
oh, okay. I got your question. So you do have time. There's time to have fun. You just gotta know. You gotta really have your priorities in check. And so some people will get there and they'll be lazy. And this is why I say it's like a full time job. Is because there's always something to do, right? You always have something that you could be working on, whether it's schoolwork, whether it's getting some extra reps in the cage. There's always just something to do, and so yeah, you need to set a time. You need to set apart some time to go have fun, go hang out with your buddies, or if you have a girlfriend or something, make time for her so she doesn't dump you. But you don't want to get in a mode where you're just kind of, just lazy and sitting around and playing PlayStation and then all this stuff, piles on top of you. Now all of a sudden, um, I haven't really hit or done any extra work in a week. I have this paper that's due at midnight tonight that I haven't even started on, you know. So people get in trouble because they're lazy. They just kind of sit around and they don't stay on top of stuff. I know the times that I kind of struggled and had a hard time in college was because, I was just like, man, I'm tired. And instead of, setting aside maybe like a couple minutes a day to work on my paper, I just kind of, you know, pushed it off to the side. And then next thing I know, I got a paper due at midnight, but I also have a game tonight that's not going to get done till like 10. And I got classes all day. So I can't even, like, I would have to skip my classes to start the paper. But if you skip classes, a lot of times your coach will keep tabs on you. So you can't really just skip class. And so you really have to have your priorities in check and you really got to learn how to manage it. And that comes through, experience, right? Some people are going to naturally be better at it than others, but you really just, like I said, like my coach said, you got to enjoy the grind, right? Life is going to challenge you. You're going to get punched in the mouth, but after you get punched in the mouth, what are you going to do about it, right? Are you going to sit there
yeah.
and cry like a baby and, just bow out of the fight? Or are you going to, square up and be like, okay, nice punch. Let's go to war, right? And that's
Yeah.
the perfect synopsis of how college is. It's a fight. It's a grind.
So so you really just gotta be organized with what you're doing.
Right, right. I mean, I think simply like you really have to learn how to grow up, right? You have to get out of that baby mentality. You got to conduct yourself like a young man, like a young professional. And that's why so many companies want student athletes right out of college. Like the company I first worked for, they almost they hire student athletes at like 80% or something because they know just how the mindset that they have. They have like this winning mindset, and in that job it's similar to baseball, right? It's a selling job. Like that's how you have to sell to promote. And when you sell, it's a lot like getting in the bat or getting in the batter's box. You're gonna fail a lot. You're gonna hear a lot of no's, right? And you got to be okay with that rejection, right? Which is one of just
Yeah.
as people, that's one of our biggest fears. Like we don't like hearing no. We don't like to feel rejected, but
We
something
just
that
like
you're
wanna
gonna have
feel
to deal with.
accepted.
Right, right. Everybody
Okay.
wants to feel accepted,
Yeah.
right? And so that's pretty much the biggest thing. Do you have any other questions for me?
I have one last question.
Okay, let's
If you
do it.
could tell tell your younger self one thing that you wish you would have known before you went to college, what would it be?
Before I went to college. Oh, that's a great question. Um, I think I would just say, hey, just keep your head down and work, right? Sometimes um, when you are in college or just when you're doing anything, right? A lot like you want to be recognized, like you just said, you want to feel accepted, right? And so when we're not feeling, recognized or accepted enough in a certain position, we'll try to seek it elsewhere, right? And sometimes those aren't the healthiest places to seek it, right? You may start partying more, or you may start getting involved with the wrong crowd, or you may start, you
Yeah.
know, just doing things that put you in a bad space, mentally, spiritually, emotionally, all of that. But if this is going back to enjoy the grind, right? If you just keep your head down and you just keep working, right? Then I mean, all things are gonna, work together, and you're gonna be all right. You're gonna be all right, and that's what I had to learn, right? So my sophomore year went through a pretty tough pretty tough season, mentally and emotionally. I basically didn't play as much after a really good freshman year, and I had to kind of build myself back up. And then after that, my junior and senior years, I was in a much better place emotionally. I was kind of back to being, who I was before I kind of went into that, we can call it a major slump, just to keep the terms with
Yeah.
baseball. So yeah, just
Yeah. Like being
always
like a hitter slump.
right, right. Yeah, you can be in a slump in life, right? And that's kind of what I was in. And so just keep your head down and keep working, keep doing the right thing, right? Because honesty, integrity, and hard work will take you way farther than, trying to cut corners, right? In the end, you're going to be way up here, and that person that cut corners is going to be down here. Even though in the short term, that person that cut corners may be a little bit above you, right? But if you keep working, right, they're going to hit that ceiling, and you'll just pass them. You'll pass right by them, and I've seen that. I've seen that like firsthand now, just professionally. Some of the people that cut corners in college, right? They kind of just hit the ceiling, and they're kind of doing whatever. And right after I learned, hey, just keep your head down and keep working, I've been able to keep building and keep building and keep building to where, now I'm in a position where I'm doing stuff that I love to do, with people I love to do. And I'm still just on the trajectory to hit, my goals. Yeah.
Yeah. So you what I got from that is like you just gotta stay with it. You can't steer away from what your goals are. You gotta stay
Right.
organized, stay with the right people, and not get involved in the wrong crowd. And like you said, enjoy the grind.
Right. Right. So it's like you have to get a goal. Right. And I mean, it's similar. So, like championship teams, right? They're championship teams because everybody on the team, from the most talented guy and the best player on the team, all the way to the person who's the worst player on the team, they understand the mission, and they're all doing their part for the mission, right? They all know their kind of role that they have to play to make that particular team the best, right? Because in reality, you win a championship this year, the person who is the worst player on the team, the next year they could be one of the, pivotal key players that helps you on your quest for a repeat. See what I'm saying? And so
Yeah.
you gotta accept where you are, and you gotta, whatever role that is given to you, you have to be like, okay, I'm gonna do this to the best of my ability. So like going back to my example, that year where I didn't play as much, right? I could have sat down and kind of pouted and, you know, just just was like dismissed the whole season. Like, now I'm not playing, whatever, right? And could have been a sore loser about it.
Yeah.
But, and it kind of started on that path. And I was like, wait a minute, like, that's not helping anybody. It's not helping me, right? Because I'm not going to be better. And if I get an opportunity to play, I'm going to blow it, right? And it's not helping my team because negative energy is just as contagious, if not more contagious than positive energy, right? And so if you have a
Yeah.
player that is just sitting, like just on the bench, just in a horrible mood, that's going to bring the team down, right? And
Yeah.
so I chose that year to say, I'm gonna be the best teammate that I could be. I'm gonna pick everybody up, even if we're not playing our best. I'm gonna, see what I could do to make sure that this team is in the best position moving forward. And that's the year we went to the World Series. And I didn't even play that much. I got a couple at bats. I actually ended the season with a 333 batting average. I only had like 21 at bats or something.
Oh,
I had like 25 at bats, right? And I got like 7 or 8 hits, walked a couple of times. And so my numbers actually look good, but I just didn't play that much. And the guy who was playing in front of me ended up being an All American, which is he was a transfer guy. I was like, okay. But the experience of going to the World Series and the memories that you make with those people, that's what made it worth it, right? And so, yeah, I didn't play that much that year, but what I did do was I made so many memories, and to this day, that team talks in a group me, like talk all the time. So that's what it's all about. You have to enjoy the journey, right? Everybody always wants to be, the star, and they think they want to be the star, and they think they want to be the fame until they get it and they realize that comes with, a lot of pressure and a lot of responsibility, right?
yeah.
And so just enjoy your role, become dang good at your role, and then I mean, just like jobs, you get
You'll
promoted.
follow, like, you'll
Right.
follow.
Right. It's like you almost get promoted if you just keep working. It's like you promote yourself, promote yourself. So that's it, man.
Yeah,
That's it. Man, well, this has been great, Grady. I really
it
enjoyed
has.
having you. Do you have any last words before we go?
Uh, like and subscribe.
Yeah, like and subscribe to Baby Grady. I'm sure he has a ton of new content on the way.